Hello friends, welcome to channel Reza Blade. I'm your friendly neighborhood Reza. I teach nail stamping with tips, tricks, and tutorials, plus I share nail art inspiration and new plate and product reviews. Don't forget to like this video, and comments do help me a lot, so let me know if you like this tutorial and how you're doing. So today we are going to learn how to do these nails. This is my first fall mani of the year. Funny thing is that I had actually started designing this when I got the plate that had the text on it that I could combine to be starry skies and crunchy leaves. Pretty fun. I had been telling people that I wanted to change this, but once I got it on, I actually really do kind of like it as is, so I'll show you a few different options as far as what blue to use. So, I mean, the temperatures have finally started falling in St. Louis a bit, so I hope that you are nice and safe and comfortable and warm and cool in both pleasant ways. So the tutorials using What's Up Nails plate A021 with these leaves right here, but you can kind of use whatever you want with leaves that you want. And I do a tutorial on my full reverse stamping process. I will put a link to it in the description box below, as well as, of course, all the plates that I have used. But I did want to show you that there are many options as far as what leaves you use, so you don't have to buy a specific plate if you already have something that will work. I like multitaskers on my channel. So here is the Lovely Leaf 6 from Uberchic, which has the crunchy leaves and starry skies text here. I was so excited when I saw that. So let us get cracking, I guess. Simple things. This is a beginner plus level friendly look, so the most difficult part is going to be this reverse stamping or time consuming, but if it's too time consuming or tough, just do a leaf on one or two nails. It's easily simplified, so that's why I'm calling it beginner plus. So let me know if that's a kind of a good way to classify things. I'm trying to give more details at the beginning of my videos as far as what level it is and etc. So let's go to our night sky color. So this particular night sky color, you'll notice the leaf of the stars in the actual polish, as well as on the leaves. On the nails stamped. So let me show you these two polishes here. So these are Christmas polishes from Graceful. Midnight Stars is currently on clearance on the website, so I'm going to put a link to the website below. There's a great clearance sale going on Graceful polishes right now. So you can see all these different stars that are suspended in this jelly polish. Glitterally Christmas is similar. It's from the previous year. So I did kind of combine these two along with another blue and some of my handy dandy. I add this to kind of jelly things out. It's a 99-cent base coat, top coat. Not good for either of those things, by the way, but I use it as sticky base coat a lot. I buy this from the Dollar Tree. And then I did find this one, the Morgan Taylor Breakout Star. It's funny that I didn't pick it like for its name or anything. I just like the iridescence in there as well. And I kind of did a jelly, but you don't have to do a jelly. This one is from Artist Nails. This is my friend Kat collabed with them, Random Fandom collection. There will be a group buy in October. I'll put the details in the description box. If you want this polish, I'll Never Forget This Song. The whole collection is really great. So I'm going to start off by doing just a couple of those different color options on these nails. I should have pre-colored them. I'm actually going to pause recording real quick so that I could catch up on that, and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. I've got, as you can see, various blues down on these nails, and I did go ahead and top coat them. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put down our star layer, and any old star background you have is going to be just fine. Now, one thing I did note with this is that I would prefer it if there were fewer stars in the background here, but in the bright light, it's actually showing up just fine. So this is only an issue in normal, room lighting where I couldn't necessarily see the words against the background of the stars. A couple of choices you have. You can use a pearlized white, like Moonshine by Hit the Bottle, and that's like a metallic white, of course. And then you have a regular white. I'm using Hit the Bottle. This is Snowed In. Use whatever you've got. I'm just using my favorite. I love Hit the Bottle. So I do have a couple of old, 4-year-old Maniology plates here, back from when they were bundle monsters, some of them. Just because I have a bunch of their star stuff. So I'm going to take this one, and I think also this one. So this is M55 and BMXL213. Just what I'm using today. And the stars will be in the pearlized white. And I'm going to take off, I'm going to grab this dotting tool, ready to take off a couple of the big stars if I want to, just in case. So I'm going to scrape once and get my thing ready. Take off this one. And then stamp that down. And that is not an overwhelming amount of stars. So I'm going to clear this off with my lint roller, of course. And you don't have to top coat this in between with the reverse stamping. But I usually do, just in case I need to kind of use acetone to delete something. Next, I should probably tell you that I start my reverse stamps before I really do much of anything at all. This has 2 coats down on it. This one has 1. I'm going to pick up with a black. I'm going to pick up a leaf so I can show you that. So I did, let's just, I can show you some more stars or not. That is generally the way I do my stars for this Mani. Now let me find my black. Alright. Now I do have a Maniology black I'm using today, but Maniology's, what's the word? Their lids have been crumbling on me lately. It's been really upsetting. So they get gross black on my hands, and it's been not the best. So I have put tape around some of my Maniology stamping polishes. Unfortunately, I use a lot of black, so it's been particularly upsetting to me recently. I do always clean off my stamping plates in between each use, just because it's a best practice, that way I don't accidentally put them away dirty or whatever, or try to use it in the same video and have it not working out great. Some other really good stamps that are on the Lovely Leaf 6 are some other leaf shapes that would be fun to use. Here's another one. So if you're getting Lovely Leaf 6 for the wording that is used in the specific Mani, then no real need to get anything else. I think you can use a bunch of the other ones if you don't have any other leaf standing plates. Let me show you how I do this. I do put down a coat of protective. Here is what I use to keep my stamps flexible. This is Wet n Wild Clear Nail Protector. And if you have tried reverse stamping without coating your image first, you'll probably notice that as it dries, it tends to maybe pick up a little instead of putting down the coat. I always protect mine. I also tend to put a few layers of clear nail protector on because I make mistakes. So I, you know, from time to time you'll see me remove a little extra from the outside with either by pushing in my fingernail if I put down three top coats or more of the clear nail protector. And sometimes I just use acetone in order to get rid of the outline where I have made my mistake. Okay, so this is drying. This has one coat on. I don't know why I left it at one coat. I will put on, this is a little bit thicker, this base coat, top coat, LA Colors. So if I'm gonna mess around with anything with my fingernail, like I said, moving it to inside the outline from a little bit of a mistake, I do tend to use this in between to thicken it up a little bit, because otherwise you try to use this with your fingernail and it won't work out. Anyway, but that's all optional stuff. Let me start drawing. I'm gonna color this one in, and I have gathered various polishes that I use for greens and reds, etc. The link that I will put below will tell you about how I do gradients within a reverse stamp image. That applies here because if you'll see these, I did do some gradient coloring in. So I'm gonna do this one with, it had some yellow, it had some green. Let's put a little bit of red, maybe orange. How about this? We'll do that, and I'll show you how that can go down. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to start with whatever I use to hold my paint. Now with these, I usually just do my reverse stamping by taking the paint from the brush, okay? But that's not the way we work it when we do gradients. So I'm going to do 5 different colors total when I do a gradient with this right here, okay? So I put down this kind of sheer yellow from Sinful Colors. It's their Save the Bees collection. Put down a little bit of this metallic orange. I'm going to put down this green. So I already colored a little bit of green in the middle there to kind of give me my guideline for what I want where. And then I'm going to put a little bit of yellow over here. We'll see if I need to zoom in. Probably. So I've got my yellow. Generally speaking, I don't really want to paint when my brush is kind of splayed like this. I want it to all have the brushes, the bristles behaving correctly. All right, so and then now I'm going to combine this yellow and this green just a little bit. Put this in more in the middle here so you can see what I'm doing, because whatever you set down on the paintbrush is what's going to go down. So you want your combination to already kind of be right there before you try to blend it on the actual image. So, and then I have this. Now I'm ready to do my green to orange. I'm going to put my plain green down here. I do have an intermittent tremor, so you will see I do a lot of touching, of grounding my hand on the table, and you'll see I stabilize my pinky this way on my hand. All right, now we're going to get to the point where we're combining the green and the orange. Maybe a little bit more green over here where that blends. And then we get to the orange on the edge. This is sort of an experiment because I don't actually have this exact color combination down on my mani that I'm working with. I mean, if you want to do them as more separated colors, that's all fine too. You don't have to do this gradient thing. This is just the idea I'm having right this very second. Because as in the beginning of fall, you can see that these sort of colors will pop up. You see. So I'm going to take this off with some acetone. When you are using your detail brushes, you want to preserve them by, sure, let's take the polish off our brush with acetone, but then always dip it in water. And I don't have water, so I will be right back. We're always going to dip it in water after the acetone so that we don't let the acetone quietly eat away at our bristles. All right, so let's go back to that sheer yellow over here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is put down a white background so that it will pop against the night sky. So if you heard me talking about more of a medium blue color, kind of like more something along these lines, that's what I was talking about. I want these leaves to pop. So after this one dries, let me set this one aside here. I really do kind of like that sparkle of the gold. Maybe I should have used a more opaque gold, but I do like how that particular one turned out. Let me color just a little bit of this. We're gonna do, let's do the gold and the orange. Nope, the gold and the green. So I'm rinsing off my brush, and then I'll do a little bit of blob. I should have grabbed a more opaque yellow, but that's okay. I can tell you to use a more opaque yellow. And then I pull the color into the leaves instead of putting down color every time I go. When I do a reverse stamp, since it is protected already, I just tend to pull the color where I want it instead of putting down new color all the time, if you see what I mean. It makes the final product a little bit neater. As in, not neat cool, but neat tidy. All right. So I'm still working on this color. This is a larger stamp, of course. If you have a smaller nail, you're going to want to use smaller leaves. Lots of different stamping plates out there for autumn leaves. But the star idea was in my brain, and I don't know why it was in my brain, but then the Uberchic plate came, and I thought that is just perfect. So I'm going to show you now, because this is about done as far as the blending goes, and then I just go from here with more application of color. And you probably, unless we're doing a live, you probably don't want to sit here and watch me reverse stamp for 5 minutes. But here we are. All right, I'm going to set that aside. And then I'll show you what I want to do for the nail with the actual words on it. I wasn't too happy with it here, but since I used jelly polish and since we're in really good extra lighting for photographs, it works fine just now. but I want to show you what I would do. So let me grab some stars. Let's use this one. And we're going to use, for the actual stars, we're going to use the metallic. And then for the words, we're going to use the white. Or at least that's what I'm doing. You do whatever you want. So I'm going to take off this moon, of course. I'm going to take off this little broken thing right here. And that is the last thing I will remove. And now I put down my stamp, and I have that space in the middle for my words that I had wanted. You don't have to top coat in between them, but do what you want. Just remember that if you're working on your natural nails, the more times you top coat, the more layers of polish you'll have on. So you might have a preference there. I know I do on my natural nails. So, all right. Now we are going to grab the words, and I can take you fast forward to to setting down a leaf. Okay, so we have starry skies, crunchy leaves. If you want, you can put like autumn sky, autumn vibes, you know, other words here if you want, but I'm just here for the starry skies, crunchy leaves. So with text, what I tend to do is let that sit and sink in for just a half a second before I scrape and stamp. And I tend to get better, more opaque words, more complete words. I can't find my Scotch tape. Oh, no, I can. I line it up on my table space before I start reverse stamping, because I always want there to be what's it called, ready. Starry skies. You probably should have done it just a little bit higher up to take advantage of that clear spot. So I am actually going to take a little bit of acetone to this project here. All right. Take that away. And sometimes all you really need to do is add more of the polish instead of taking away the stamping. So I'm going to try that for a second here too. And this one is the Morgan Taylor polish that has the word star in it. And that will fade everything into the background enough for my preference. And I'm going to grab the other text now too. So I cleaned off that brush, dipping it in water and putting it aside. And get some acetone out. There we go. All right, now we are going to want a stamper and more of that white stamping polish. Crunchy leaves is the next text. Let it just sit there for half a second. Scrape. Did I scrape enough? I scraped enough. All right. You do want to work quickly so that you don't have to use sticky base coat, but I mean, it's not required. I probably should have gotten rid of a little bit more of that space, but that's okay. You all knew what I was trying to do. Starry skies, crunchy leaves. And I'm going to put this plate away and set down one of the leaves. Let me add some more stars because I don't think I'm going to use the pinky. I think I'm going to use this one. And that is the one with Kat's awesome polish on it. I love that kind of duochrome effect there. Okay, let me add some stars. Okay, just nothing really loud. I'm just looking for those little specks for this particular nail. There are so many different star plates out there. You can do whatever you want as far as the style stars. You can do the, you know, the kind of storybook 5-pointed star. You do whatever you want. Generally speaking, in my video, I'm just going to grab what I have close to hand. All right, and if there's a blank spot, just stamp a star there if you want to. So, ready for this one to have a leaf, but the leaf isn't ready for that. So let me get the leaf ready. Generally speaking, I don't want any white to show up on its own, so I'm going to grab a thicker brush. Just make sure that all of that green is down and there are no gaps in the color, so to speak, because the last thing you're going to want is to put down a white base, white backing for your reverse stamp and then have that white show up. Although that's something easy to fix too, also, by the way, from the front. Because it's on top of white, just wait for everything to dry and then paint it to match what it's supposed to be. So I'm not going to waste my good hit the bottle stamping polish. I'm just going to use a Sally Hansen Insta Dry White to back this. And generally speaking, you don't have to do the whole thing as far as like, you know, going all the way to the edge. If you're worried that your hand's going to shake and you're going to go outside the lines, then don't do that. Use a smaller brush or less white. Because the last thing you want is to ruin it with that final white coat. Okay, we are ready for that. I'm going to, usually I put another coat of our clear nail protector from Wet n Wild on the back to even out that texture so that it goes down as a smooth stamp instead of just something that's maybe a little lumpier than it should be. But whatever. Today we're just sort of showing you how I do it. And I thought that this was maybe a good thing I will show you here. I'm going to use hairspray just on this real quick instead of top coat. There we go. And you don't touch that now. Let it dry for a couple minutes. And then your top coat won't smear. I know that a lot of people do use smudge-free top coat to kind of protect that. But I have had things smudge when I used, you know, smudge-free. So I'm always, if I'm dealing with words, if I'm dealing with something very particular as far as reverse stamping goes or stamping, I do use the hairspray trick just because it is, you know, it's so quick to have something be 100% certain set in stone. So what am I going to do now for this stamp? We have our leaf. We want it down on our starry night sky. I'm going to take my NeVerMind sticky base coat. This one's called Clingy. And I'm just going to apply a tiny bit. The more you apply, the longer it takes to dry, so it behooves you to be sparing on this. So I do have Clingy, like I've said, when I didn't have money to just get a clear base, a sticky base coat. I use this LA Colors base coat, top coat. I just apply a tiny bit and then I let it dry about, I don't know, 30 seconds and I set it down. Now we can play with this to see where we want this to go. I like this particular one in that position. So when I am setting down, you see I have this little extra because I do use the clear nail protector. The way I get that to stick is I use a little bit of acetone on my brush. We're talking tiny bit, everybody, just a teeny bit. A little bit of acetone on my brush to get it to meld with the surface of my nail. And if you are dealing with a little bit of texture that is different, sometimes you need to fix it with acetone, sometimes you don't. This one you don't need to fix it with acetone, and your top coat will do everything for you. So I'm going to top coat both of these, and we can say ta-da after all that. I hope you have enjoyed this manicure. I really do like this one. I like to do those changing leaves fall manis. They're my favorite for fall. Besides, of course, the obvious Halloween, which is my favorite holiday of the year. And I know a lot of you found my channel from Halloween. I have a little bit of a hair in here. We don't want that. It is a gozer hair for the, oh, look. It is so hard to see those things. All right. So there's that one. Top coated now. And let's, oh, you know what? I don't like to use my top coat once it gets to this point in the bottle, because it just gets a little bit gloopy. Seche Vite is like that. So where's my next? Here, I'll just use Northern Lights, which is like a hollow top coat. I got it at Sally Beauty. You want to shake it before you set it down. So go check out that Graceful Polish sale. A lot of great prices. It's funny, there's a gozer hair on here too. He's just everywhere in my life. Okay, so Starry Skies, Crunchy Leaves, tiny bit of hollow in the top coat. I hope you've all enjoyed this one. Swift also is the top coat I use. I should have just grabbed for this. This is my NeVerMind Quick Dry. Next video will be Halloweeny, plus coming soon is my daily unboxing of the Beautometry's Halloween Advent Box. We're almost on the edge of that, everybody. You won't want to miss a thing. It is the season, friends, and I will see you then. Hope you enjoyed this one, and I'm hoping you will find my next nail art irresistible. Get it? I hope you got it.